Okay, now we need to talk about choosing your mother's casket. I know you wanted a lighter color, right? But have you thought about the protective seal?
Right, the seal. You told me about the seal. It means that the casket is a couple $100 more, right? What does it do?
Well, keep in mind that your mom is being buried in the earth. There are things to consider down there like bugs, worms, moisture, decay.
Maggots, 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 maggots.
It's completely up to you whether you want to protect her from those things or just leave her to fend for herself in that casket, unprotected, all alone. Do you want that?
No. No, right? I don't, is that right? I guess? Now, I hesitate to call anything a scam. That's dangerous territory. But of all the things in the funeral industry, I'd say sealer caskets get real close. They dip their toe. No, they dip their whole leg into the pool of scam. And before you come at me, this is not one of Caitlin's magical eco-green funeral conspiracy theories. No, there are a lot of funeral directors, funeral homes, and consumer groups that agree with me on this. Okay, let's back up for a minute. What is a sealer casket exactly? A sealer casket, also known as a sealed casket, protective casket, gasketed casket, Little Jimmy the Batman, Crosby, Stills, and Cash. Okay, those last ones aren't real. A sealer casket is almost always metal, and it has a little rubber seal that goes around the lid that allegedly keeps air and water out away from the corpse for a little while. That's basically it. Fun fact, funeral directors are not allowed to explicitly tell you that a sealed casket will protect a dead body better than an unsealed casket. Because it won't. They are also not allowed to say that it will preserve your mom indefinitely. Because it won't. Because it won't. But that doesn't mean that an unethical funeral director might subtly imply that a sealed casket is a better or more dignified or more long-term solution to that age-old problem of decay. Heed my words, mortals, we will all decompose. And there are no $8 to $12 rubber gaskets that are gonna stop you from becoming worm food. Oh, wait, what did I just say? $8 to $12 rubber gasket? Yeah, that's part of the problem. That magical piece of rubber that's supposed to preserve a body until the rise of our robot overlords only costs $8, but can increase the cost of a casket by hundreds of dollars. As told to Rubber and Plastics News, yes, that is a real publication, Joel Verplank, co-owner and purveyor of fine metal caskets, said that the rubber gasket is for perception purposes only. He called rubber gaskets basically cosmetic and went on to say, in my opinion, the rubber is the weakest link of the metal casket. It will dry out and deteriorate. I think more and more funeral homes are promoting the seal for protection, but it's just not true. But like I said, that vanity gasket is gonna drive up the cost of a casket. Don't let them take you into a dusty corner of the casket room and tell you the one you like is less popular because it's less expensive. Don't let them casket shame you, especially if you're on a budget. If you're wealthy as all heck, get whatever casket you want. Get the golden Promethean casket. Get the Michael Jackson casket. Like that, great for you. Just most of us are not in that situation in our lives. Anything can happen once the body is underground. The gravedigger drives the backhoe over mom's grave, crushing the vault and popping the rubber gasket. The gasket deteriorates and fails. Even if the sealer casket did work perfectly, to what end are you paying for this? Are you planning to occasionally exhume mom and go, oh wow, the old gal's really sealed up in there? But the worst, most wrongest idea about a sealer casket is that it will somehow slow decomposition. That is bad old science that said that decomposition came from the outside world in. If you just seal a body up, they'll stay beautiful forever. Well, now we know that just because a body isn't exposed to air and moisture doesn't mean it won't decompose. In fact, all the anaerobic bacteria in a corpse that's been sealed into a casket is going to start eating tissue, liquefying a body, and creating gas. That gas can build up, creating a thick black liquid, which is not a cute look for Mom. On the flip side, if the body is exposed to some air, the effects of inevitable decay will be considerably less dramatic. Sure, you're also going to decompose in an unsealed casket. You're going to decompose everywhere. But if your body is allowed to air out, the body will desiccate and break down faster, and the gases can gently escape. Not to mention, you'll probably pay considerably less for a casket that isn't sealed. Or you could have a natural burial and have no casket and be like, yes, decomposition! Worms, my queen! So, deathlings, sealer caskets are, if not a scam, not worth it. Tupperwaring yourself into some overpriced metal pressure cooker isn't going to stop water or decay from getting to Mom. Save the casket money and go for some extra cheese plates at the funeral. Everybody loves cheese. What are you gonna spend your several $100s in rubber gasket money on? This video was made with generous donations from death enthusiasts just like you.
Because it won't. Bentham's head.